Hey guys, I'm Karma. I'm gonna set my Bible down. So, little intro. I am a senior, obviously, and I go to Marina Mesa High School. So, Ramley, woo! Okay. Little bit about me. Don't boo. Um, I I'm into art. I draw and I paint. I play golf, and I'm most known for being the commanding officer of the ROTC unit at Mesa the Ram Battalion. Okay. Got some cadets. Woo. Okay. So if you could get anything from my testimony tonight, it will be that you can't be comfortable and courageous at the same time. So Second Chronicles 15:7. We got that, Kim? Yeah. Okay. So it says, "But as for you, be strong and do not give up, for your work will be rewarded." So I was born in 1998, and my parents worked really hard at, raising me, and they taught me some really key things for 6 years until my sister was born, and then she took all the attention. I'm just joking, but my dad and my mom both taught me that I wasn't a quitter. I was never going to be a quitter, and that in everything that I do, I'll put 110% of my effort into it. And to illustrate that, I have a little story. So when I was 4 years old, my dad set out a day in which he would teach me how to ride a bike without training wheels. And you guys are probably thinking, oh my gosh, 4 years old? Exactly. So we went to a park next to our apartment, and this park had a green hill, and he set me on top of the green hill, or the grass hill, and he put me on the bike. He took the training wheels off, and he pretty much told me, if you don't want to crash, you're going to learn how to ride this bike. And exactly. So, he pushed me down, and, consequently, I crashed. And I didn't like crashing at all. I don't think anyone likes to crash. I hurt a lot, and I cried, and I told my dad that I didn't want to continue learning how to ride a bike because I failed. And my dad picked me back up, and he said, "You're not a quitter. You're going to get back on this bike, and you're going to learn how to ride it until, you're going to learn how to ride it by the end of this day." And so I was like, "Okay, Dad, you know what's right for me, so I'm going to trust in you." And so he put me back on the bike, and I kept on going at it until I eventually learned how to ride, and I learned how to ride in a day. And my dad was really proud, not only because I was 4 years old and I knew how to ride a bike, but because in that moment in which I failed, I let my dad know that I trusted in him, and even though that I was scared to continue riding the bike, I was going to believe in him rather than my own fears. So fast forward a little bit, junior year of high school, I'm in ROTC. I've been in ROTC for 4 years now. I love doing it. It's my passion. Thank you. And they introduced this idea of self-actualization. I don't know if anyone knows what that is, but it's part of Maslow's hierarchy of human needs, and at the very top it says self-actualization. And what it is it's a time in which you are the very best version of yourself that you could possibly be. And I became rather obsessed with this idea of being the best version of myself just because of my upbringing. And so I'm going to go to Colossians 3:23-24. And it says, "Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for human masters, since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward. It is the Lord Christ you are serving." So pretty much saying that in everything that we're doing it for Christ, not for ourselves. This life isn't our own, and everything that I do in academics and sports, I do it as serving Christ, so therefore I give 100% of my effort. And so junior year, my instructors for ROTC asked me, they pulled me aside one day and they asked me if I want to be the commanding officer of the Ram Battalion, and I say yes. And then upon saying yes, they also challenged me to apply to the United States Naval Academy. And at that time, I didn't really know what it was until I got home and I looked it up, and I found out that it was it is actually the best and worst place probably on this planet. It's the best place because it creates the best military officers out there, and I'm being completely biased. I love the Navy, but it's also it's also the worst place because of how they become the best officers. It's really scary what they kind of like make you do. I'll just throw out some things like, you wake up at 05 every morning, you work out for 2 hours, and then you go to class, and they pretty much drain you. As a plebe, which is a freshman, you have to learn verbatim like the meal for that entire day, and it's really stressful. And that's what they do. They make you work in high stress. And I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to apply because I wanted to be comfortable. I didn't like getting outside of my comfort zone, especially in that area, knowing that people would be better than I am. And so I was practicing double-mindedness because I wanted the self-actualization, but I also wanted to live in comfort. So James 1:6-8 says, but when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea blown and tossed by the wind. That person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Such a person is double-minded and unstable in all they do. So that's what I was practicing. And for months on end, I prayed every night that God's will be done in my life, and that if he wants me to do that, he would help me along the application process. And in October of 2015, I got the Senior of the Month award. And if any of you guys know or receive it, you have to speak at this breakfast like thing in the morning, and you have to give a speech. And I had prepared material of what I was going to say, but right before I went up, God told me, disregard what you had before. I want you to say this to those people out there. I want you to tell them that you're going to go to the Naval Academy, and you're going to go because I'm telling you, and you're going to go because you're selfless, and you're going to go knowing that all your comforts are going to be completely stripped away from you, but you're going to go anyways because you're doing it for your country and you love your country. And that's pretty much what I said. I went up there and I told them, you know what, I had prepared material, but God told me that with elevation comes separation, and that as I elevate in doing what he wants me to do, I'm going to be separated from all the comforts, and I'm completely willing to do that for you guys. And I don't think in that moment I knew exactly what I was saying. Some adults were crying and stuff, and I didn't really know why they were crying until February 5th, 2016. I dropped Cameron off at her work so she could get a check, and I was sitting in the car, and I got this phone call, and I answered it, and it was this guy, and he said, "Is Carmen Richards there?" And I said, "Yes, it's her." And he said, "Well, I'd like to congratulate you on your appointment to the United States Naval Academy." And I was like, "What? What are you talking about?" I got in, and he was like, "Yeah, we're all very proud of you." And halfway through him talking, I just start weeping. And I'm weeping half because I'm really excited for what God has for me, and I'm super stoked, but also because I'm really, really scared. I'm super scared. I'm a pretty unassuming person. I don't think if I was walking on the street, someone would go, "Hey, that girl looks like she's going to Naval Academy." No, it's not me. And along this process, I've realized that this is where God has called me, and I trusted my dad in, with the whole bike thing, I'm going to trust God because he knows what's best for me. I say this, I say this a lot, but if God was small enough for me as a human to understand, he wouldn't be big enough for me to need. And even though I'm really scared, I'm gonna trust in what he has for me because he is bigger than anything I am and anything that I could personally understand. So Proverbs 3:5-6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight." And then Joshua 1:9-11 says, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." So when I'm leaving, and I'll be in Annapolis, Maryland, I'm going to, go on a plane June 28th, right after high school. And when I'm on there, I'm going to know that God's with me. And even though I'm scared, I'm going to believe that God's with me and he has a great plan for me. And I believe that he has a great plan for everyone here. So let's a recap. You can't be comfortable and courageous at the same time. With elevation comes separation. And another thing that I realized, that God has such a grand plan for each and every one of us that we should actually be scared of it. So are you?